Virgos, welcome and welcome back to the Honey Sea Star Tarot, and welcome to our weekly read from March 9th, here today, the day I'm recording this, through Friday the 13th. Yes, we have another Friday the 13th. We are blessed this week, let me tell you. This week, you will feel like you are standing at the bend of a long river in the place where the water slows, the water deepens, and it's in this soft eddy as it circles to appreciate the wisdom in the waters that came before and the rock walls that they've shaped, that they've revealed along the journey. And then suddenly, the river remembers where it was always meant to go, as the young and the old energy, the wisdom, the lessons, all mixed together as one. For months here, certain currents in your life may have felt reflective, suspended or even uncertain. Conversations may have looped back on themselves. Relationships may have revisited old themes. Dreams may have even softly whispered, breathing renewed vitality back into themselves. This is the week where something stirs. The current is just monumentally moving now. And something condenses in the timeline between past, present, and future for you. So this week, the sky is arranging itself into a rare and very meaningful story. And over the coming days this week, we will get to witness a Sagittarius Moon that forms a powerful trine with the Aries Stellium. We will get into it. It's going to ignite some courage within your emotional roots and your emotional ties. We will also see a half moon illuminate across the sky, shining down on the sacred ground of home, ancestry, and belonging, asking you to remember where you came from. And after what feels like let me tell you, long-awaited anticipation, at least for me. If it resonates, let me know. There is a cosmic shift that's happening this week. Jupiter, exalted in Cancer, in our 11th house, hopes, wishes, dreams, legacy, long-term aspirations, community, your contribution when it comes to humanitarian efforts, the collective. Jupiter finally stations direct after months of reflection. And this is like a giant taking a deep breath before stepping forward once again. In our 11th house, no less. And by the week's end, that's not all. We also happen to have a very fated conjunction between Mars and the North Node. These two are in your 7th house of partnerships. This is going to awaken in your house of connection, activating karmic movement. Remember, Mars is drive, Mars is passion, Mars is willpower. And this karmic movement and soul agreement activation is going to come on strong with courageous passion. This is a week where your intuition sharpens, your past whispers wisdom. Yes, Mercury is retrograde. I am sure you can tell I'm already tongue-tied. But this is a week where truly courage quietly gathers its strength. And by Friday, with each day compounding its energy onto the next, driving you forward, putting wind back in your sails. Where your ship finally leaves the harbor and heads out into open water, by Friday, you'll see that the direction your life has been seeking has actually been seeking you at the very same time. Before we get started though, I just want to say truly thank you guys so much to each and every one of you, all your love and support, your hypes, your likes, your subscribes, your comments, your shares, your donations, super thanks, Honey Sea Star store purchases, each and every bit of it. Every one of you make a difference with this channel, with keeping the lights on, keeping the energy flowing, and keeping these messages going. So I am sending you so much love and light. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. Let's get into it, because starting right away, today, March 9th, there is a gentle yet meaningful alignment forming. So Mercury retrograde in Pisces in our 7th house of partnerships is going to be forming a flowing trine to Jupiter retrograde. And again, I already talked about it. He is exalted in Cancer. This is his last breath before he turns forward. He is in your 11th house of friendships and future dreams. And these two are creating a synchronicity between your heart and your horizons. And this particular trine is like two old friends meeting on a bridge, right? So Mercury says, let's revisit, I should say, the conversation that shaped us. And Jupiter replies and says, let's also remember the dreams that still live ahead. So one's looking back, one's looking forward. They're both actually technically looking back. They're both technically looking forward. And because on this bridge, you may find yourself reconnecting with someone who once played a very important role in your life that entangles these two energies together by linking the past and your future in a very seamless, harmonious way. It could be a friend, it could be a partner, could be a business collaborator, could even be a former version of yourself. And when Mercury retrograde in Pisces kind of activates like this, so when he's looking back, when he's in dreamy Pisces energy, he often dissolves the boundary between past and present. So the veil is like just unanimously thin, or just kind of time is kind of thin, if you will. And this is our ruler. You're going to feel this energy. So memories may surface, old messages may reappear. Someone could reach out unexpectedly. And what makes this moment even more powerful is that Jupiter is sitting at a very deeply symbolic point in the zodiac. Not only is he exalted, but in Cancer, this is the most deeply emotional, sensitive cardinal sign that seeks security and acts, more importantly, as our compassionate protector. This is where Spirit is saying it is time to stop giving your power away right now, right here, on this bridge, as you look back and you look forward and see how they intertwine together in the present with your presence. And spoiler alert, like I kind of said already, between the 10th and the 11th, this week, Jupiter will finally station direct. And Jupiter is stationing direct at 15 degrees. This is new beginnings. This is change in a very harmonious way, with it deducing down to 6 or condensing down to 6. In Cancer, his most amplified position. This is like beautiful energy. He is sitting in your 11th house, blessing your legacy, your dreams, and where you belong, more importantly, with his luck and with his optimism when it comes to your forward movement as his ship, your ship, leaves that harbor. And he's focused on your future right now. He's, now that he's moving forward again, numerologically creating a new opportunity and a beginning that that's brought on through change, right? Getting out of this rut, this stagnancy. And as I said before, 6 reduces to love, harmony, responsibility. More importantly, true soul family. And he's in your 11th house. Astrologically too, 15 degrees is also considered the gate of emotional mastery. When it's aligned with Cancer energy like this, it asks us, where have you learned compassion through experience? And how can you extend that compassion toward your community, your friendships, and your collective, your long-held dreams, your legacy? And this is where your strength tends to really fill your sails this week. This is your inner divine humanity. This is your heart chakra being like broken and cracked wide open. This is where you lead with compassion. Your ego is aligned with your soul and your subconscious. This is triumph of love over hate and truly finding that forward movement in your power, in your courage, having the fortitude to go after it and how you invest your time and your energy, but truly having it harmonize with your vision, your legacy. I'll say it again. And when Jupiter trines Mercury retrograde, in his last breath, before moving forward like this may feel like you're looking back and realizing that certain people in your life were never random at all. They were teachers disguised as companions. And now it's time for the lessons that they taught you to begin to bloom. The buds are ready to open, and they are resilient. They have vitality within them. They are strong. They are ready to grow. They are ready for you to move forward. So in this energy, because Mercury also does rule communication, and we've got our very social house of our 11th house being illuminated with our 7th house, no less, our commitments, our partnerships, our long-term alignments. A conversation might finally reveal an emotional truth beneath the polite words that were spoken, but didn't necessarily resonate with what was actually truly being said, or truly being felt is probably the more appropriate way of putting it. And look at what came out in reverse. This is beautiful energy. So as a conversation truly brings on this emotional truth, this emotional healing, as you remember what these old connections truly meant, as you realize that a friendship has quietly becoming something even a little deeper, It'll feel like you're finding an old photograph that's been tucked away inside a book that you have not opened in years. It's been sitting in a box in your closet, in storage, whatever. But once you find this book and you open it and you find this photograph, the feelings return just as if you were felt, or as if they were felt, I should say, just yesterday. It's fresh. But this time they're felt with a wisdom and a perspective you hadn't realized was there before. Because now you've learned lessons. You've had time to recuperate, to heal. And as you can see, with the Seven of Swords coming in reverse, this is listening to your conscience. This is accountability. Things that were done like in the dark are being caught in the act. There's honesty in this communication, in this confection, in this healing. This is beautiful energy because what it opens the door for you on is overcoming stress and anxiety. Again, we've got strength, fortitude, healing, reinvigorated with that relaxation where you can finally just release that tension, release that pent-up energy. And more importantly, with the Ten of Swords in reverse, set the burden down, right? Whatever has made you feel burnt out, where you've seen no progress, where you felt drained or exhausted, felt that stress, where you've been wound up. This is the time where that wisdom helps you see things as they are. Now, with those lessons being learned underneath your belt, with the tools in your belt, right? And at the same time, the moon in Scorpio in your third house of thoughts and conversations will also oppose Uranus and Taurus in your ninth house of belief, expansion, and higher wisdom. So, with this going on at the same time, this opposition brings an energy of mental electricity, like lightning illuminating a landscape at night. For a moment, everything becomes visible, right? The roads, the hills, more importantly, all the possibilities. And it's illuminating your strength, your untapped potential, your untapped future of all the in-between. So, Scorpio asks very deep questions, right? There is no surface level situation going on with Scorpio. Let's just be real. And Uranus, our planet of shakeups, breakthroughs, he answers all of these deep questions with sudden revelations. And because of it, you may feel an unexpected realization about something that you've believed for a very long time. And it breaks things open for you where it shifts your perspective in a very profound way. You could find yourself having a conversation that challenges what you thought to be true, as a surprising new piece of information is shared and revealed. And it has a lot to do with wishes coming true, especially with the world, the future that you want to create, with what you want to voice when it comes to your dreams, being blessed by Jupiter, who's going direct now. So, this is where you could find yourself having this conversation as it brings in this new unrevealed information that you didn't realize or see or hear before. You may also even too have found that you simply woke up this morning and you just have this epiphany where you see things differently now about a certain something that you haven't thought about in like forever, right? It's going deep down and your subconscious pulled it out. Because of a download that came in from that dream, this transit can feel like you're discovering a hidden door inside your mind, and once you open it, it reveals a truth that you didn't know you needed, and it has a lot to do with your wishes coming true and revealing how to achieve them, how to materialize them, and how to claim your justice, especially with the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, we're going to talk about this. This is crazy energy. It reveals how you can take these dreams, materialize them into your reality, right? Through Mars's action. And again, Mars is conjunct with the North Node this week. This is big. It's where you're coming into mastery. You're not only materializing them, you're voicing your passions. It's bringing justice with that Libran energy. Libran energy also too rules your second house, which is your house of worth, but also too, it rules your collaborations, your cooperation with people, because many hands make light work. And I'll say it again. We have Mars and also the North Node in Pisces right now. We also have a Pisces stellium going on right now. But that's where basically your future, your ascension really is determined. Your growth is determined through your connections, how you connect. And we'll get into it a little bit deeper here as we go on. But as the moon leaves Scorpio and Scorpio's emotional depths on Monday, it moves into this adventurous energy of Sagittarius, Also happens to move into your 4th house, which is your house of home, roots, emotional foundation. And something magical truly happens as the weather changes in the afternoon on Monday, or in the evening, wherever you are in the world. The Sagittarius Moon forms a grand trine with the Aries Stellium, which is also happening right now. So the Sagittarius Moon in your 4th house is trining with Neptune, Aries, and Venus, all at the same time. And with all 3 of them being in your 8th house of transformation, soul merging, looking at debts, managing resources, how you achieve your success, your prosperity, your material comfort, enjoy the fruits of your labor. Find that inner peace. Ground the ordinary into the sacred into the ordinary with that Virgoan energy here. Venus is here to bless you. 10 toes down, but this is a point of achievement. This is a point of completion. And this is also a point where your heart leads the way as you follow your intuition as the wheel turns, because karma is working in your favor this week. This is a beautiful beginning of a new cycle that brings you to a pinnacle of success. This is, okay, so just to kind of break it down a little bit, if this morning held like storm clouds for you, the afternoon will feel like this fresh mountain air that's drifting through an open window. And that's where the wheel starts truly turning, because that's where we also start really feeling Jupiter's forward movement. So your focus shifts from home, family, emotional security, and the place where you feel, or shifts toward, I should say, the place where you feel safe enough to dream once again. And if you imagine every energy of that Aries stellium being a sacred fire burning in 3 places at once, the Sagittarius energy fuels the fire with truth and expansion. You got Uranus in your 9th house already. Higher wisdom, higher self-wisdom alignment. Aries energy fuels the fire with courage and new beginnings. The wheel is turning once again because you're coming to a point of truly releasing that stagnancy. And then the 8th house, transformation, it fuels that deep molten metal transformation of emotional alchemy. And the 3 together, these 3 fires in the stellium, create a true firelight of the soul as they trine the Sagittarian moon. So you may feel drawn to reflect on your family story. You may feel drawn to reflect on your ancestry, even your childhood memories. But instead of nostalgia, the Sagittarius moon offers wisdom. It says you are not only where you come from, you are also where you choose to go. You are most importantly who you choose to become. And Neptune is opening your spiritual intuition as Saturn is grounding you with emotional maturity. And then Venus is here, softening your heart. And as the 3 of them come together like this, they ask you what emotional patterns within you are truly ready to resolve, especially as you look forward and where you take action. Invest your time and energy, your will, your passion, your desires, right? This is personal development. Has a lot to do with your career, has a lot to do with your visions, what you see for your future, and about making plans and decisions with resolution, with action, and with originality, with your sacral energy truly flowing free and clear. And remember, your sacral energy, not only does it ignite your creativity, but it uses all those lessons, all the wisdom along the way from where you came from to really honor and cherish the present with your presence and build the future that you've always dreamed of, how you want to experience it. So as they're asking you what stories are ready to heal, what deeper intimacy is now ready to, or what deeper intimacy, don't ask, let me try that again. What deeper intimacy are you now ready to experience in your life? These trines work together like this in a harmony that's very healing. And it's healing something within you that helps you allow yourself to truly fully be seen with the messy edges, like messy buns, whatever, all of it, even in your PJs. Because I will say it again, the world is turning in your favor. We've got the wheel and the world. And as you can see, we've got 1, 2, 2, 1. There is mirrored numerology here with dualities and new beginnings. There's this mixture of social talent, substance, imagination, optimism, heart-brain coherence, and community. And we've got Saturn here anchoring these dreams into your reality. This is beautiful because it's utilizing all the wisdom that you've gained along your journey. And if that resonates, let me know, because this is where you're not only looking at the true firelight of your soul, you're not only looking at what you now are ready to experience, what deeper intimacy and connection, but this is consummation, this is celebration, this is opening a new chapter of holistic wholeness in what you invest your time and your energy into. And it's got a lot to do with your dreams, a lot to do with your contribution, your soul's purpose, your community, your humanitarian efforts. And because you're getting messy, right? Letting people see you with all those edges, all the edges that make you you, uniquely, beautifully you. That's not all. The Sagittarius Moon also happens to form a sextile to Pluto, and Pluto is our planet of transformation. Pluto happens to also be in Aquarius, the most innovative, future forward-thinking sign, in our 6th house, which is our home, right? That is your health, your daily life, your daily rhythm, your work. Just saying. So this is where this sextile between the moon and Pluto at the same time holds this subtle but powerful energy, where the wisdom in the details that you've accumulated along your journey allows you to truly ground that wisdom. They become your greatest assets and your allies, where every small daily change creates this profound transformation. Could be a new routine, a shift in perspective, a commitment to your well-being. In every adjustment, every reorganization that you make lies the power of a big alignment and a big healing energy within you and in your world around you in your manifestation. And Pluto is whispering something very important in each and every one to you. And it's that the smallest habits that you make truly shape the largest destinies as they compound into extraordinary change. And this is where it's like you are leveraging that self-control, that steady discipline, right? That dependability when it comes to where you invest your time and energy. Your material success, an emphasis really focusing on leveraging your energy towards creating that security in your life. And with the 8th house, with the Aries Stellium being illuminated and amplified right now, has a lot to do with financial management, right? A lot of you could be breaking out and really going after your dreams by being that self-proclaimed entrepreneur, even like through philanthropic, there we go, opportunities, industrial opportunities, how you provide to your community, how you enterprise and put yourself out there, how you pragmatically plan your business, but how you really show up and show out in the world. And it doesn't have to be perfect, right? It's just about getting yourself out there and letting yourself be seen. And if that just gave you goosebumps like it did me, put a heart in the comments below, like, share, subscribe, because this is the time that is truly profound. And this is just the start of the week. So as your greatest assets, your greatest allies, the wisdom in the details, which that's what we do best, right? Pluto's whispering, let's shape your destiny. And it takes every small act, even the smallest acts that you kind of overlook, that truly create the change in this movement with the start of this week. And in this sextile with the moon, Pluto is kind of like that master gardener quietly pulling the weeds from the roots right after a rain when the soil is softened and, most importantly, it's most malleable. And it allows you to truly create a place, a throne, a foundation that really anchors those dreams into reality, right? Material wealth, money, prosperity, pleasures, your career development, anchoring your purpose into your career, anchoring all of those talents that you were born to do into a material manifestation, because everything is malleable right now. And as the evening arrives, the Sagittarius Moon will also happen to square Mars. And like I said before, Mars is in Pisces in your 7th house right now. There is a Pisces stellium going on, so connections are where it is, or where it's at. And this is where emotion meets action. And let me tell you, with the moon being in Sagittarius and Mars being in Pisces, sparks can fly, but in a kind of deeply intuitive, emotional, and spiritual way. So Mars in Pisces, he can feel unclear as he rides the tides of Pisces, right? Because it's an ebb and a flow. But this is where true transformation happens. And because Pisces flows instead of flying like a straight arrow in the wind, like that Sagittarius energy, this moment may bring a conversation where emotions surface quickly if there's misunderstandings. This is the time to truly listen and leverage that intuition, right? So you may feel sensitive to someone else's tone or behavior. It's going to hit you in that way. But the real lesson here is the emotional courage underneath it all, the transformation underneath it all. Leveraging the wisdom of the lessons you've learned, right? Turning those pains into passion, wounds into wisdom. Think of this less like a fight and more like two dancers stepping into each other's, or stepping onto each other's feet, I should say, while they're learning a new rhythm of how to flow together. There's always going to be a few bumps, right? Even if we're nervous, if we're uncomfortable, because it's new, you're learning each other's energy. So at first glance, I will say the solution is not control, even though that's where you want to tend to go. It's grace. And laughing at the clumsiness as you align with each other's energy will help you truly reset the importance of moving through it together rather than dancing through the steps seamlessly or independently. As you step on each other's feet, as you apologize, you're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. This is that kind of energy. And as you do, that vulnerability, that compassion, particularly with Mars and Pisces, that empathy that you hold for each other as you don't do things perfect, that truly becomes the doorway to an even deeper connection, because again, our growth is going to be anchored in our connections, in our collaborations, and that has a lot to do with 13. That is our divine feminine energy. As you can see, there's two beginnings. There's also synergy wrapped up into this, as well as harmony. And it's harmony of your sacral flow, your creativity, and letting your intuition take the lead, so rather than your logic. So this is the point to get ready, because as this fumble kind of happens, right, it's supposed to really teach you not necessarily when the best time is, but to not let those mistakes create disappointment, right? To not let it shut you down, where you get into this place of like, oh, I guess I need to do this on my own, right? It's to truly open up that personal power that sits within each and every one of us under that solar plexus. And remember, the solar plexus is like our golden jewel of alignment. It is where our personal power is. It's our confidence with knowing that we're capable, that we've got everything within us that we need to succeed, to drive forward. It also is where our money manifester is. So with Page of Wands coming in reverse as well, this is where if you've been blocked with creativity, innovation, curiosity, been afraid to explore, seeing lack of progress, been afraid of failing or receiving bad news, this is where Spirit is saying it's time to really lead with compassion. Let your divine inner humanity, inner fire truly ignite, and anchor those dreams with pragmatical planning, taking one step, stepping on those toes or not, with that Virgoan energy, because it's bringing things back into balance, and it's telling you your ship's ready to leave the harbor. And what I mean by that, get ready, because Tuesday night, going into Wednesday, the universe quietly changes the tide beneath your feet. So this is the time to dance as light as a feather. Let yourself kind of wobble with the new rhythms that are coming in, because your boat is leaving the shore. And I will also say at first glance for Tuesday night, nothing is going to look dramatically different. But if Monday was a story of realizations, Tuesday is the day that truly feels like the moment where the protagonist decides what to do with that realization. And remember, in each and every one of our soul's journeys, you are the protagonist, right? You are the main character in your story. This is where you're finding a connection to the past events, past memories, but it's reconnecting you to your youth, and it's helping you utilize that as your nutrients, right? Not see it as a temptation, not see it as the conflict, but instead see it as the chaos that organized the wisdom within you so that you truly honored your goals, learned how to persevere through those challenges, learned where you needed to sacrifice and let go, and again, truly take action when it becomes the new beginning of holding your vision, making good choices, finding your truth, reaching for your success with mental clarity when it comes to your long-term dreams. So this is big energy. I'm just saying, get ready to do a little happy dance. At least I am. I'm just saying. Put a heart in the comments below if you are too, because starting things out, Venus in fiery Aries in your 8th house is forming a magnetic sextile with Pluto. Pluto is in our visionary Aquarius energy, right? Like future forward thinking energy, and he just so happens to be in our 6th house, transforming the way that we work, where we take action. It's the start of change, the start of opportunity in a creative energy, in a creative flow that helps us innovate, work smarter, not harder. And this is truly a beautiful alignment between passion and empowerment. And Jupiter's going direct. I just cannot stress this enough. I'm so excited. But before we get there, where Venus is like this spark of passion seeking bold, authentic love, your heart's desires, Pluto holds this deep underground energy seeking transformation, seeking truth. This is coming into your true soul's alignment. And when the two of them connect like this, they create a moment where you realize something powerful about your value in a deeply energizing kind of way. And it has to do with where previously conflict made you timid. This is perseverance through temptation instead of letting it bring you out of alignment, right? Wherever there's been materialism, cheating, addiction, violence holding you back, rivalries pulling you down, friction, like where you're coming up against a hard place in a rock, right? Every step has been like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or you feel like every step gets heavier, like there's chains with weights weighting you down. There may be a conversation that deepens the intimacy of a relationship because it's going to help you see someone's loyalty in a new profound way through all of this. Also, too, when it comes to where you take action, where you invest and give your power, right? Where you invest your time and your energy, especially as you go towards your dreams, start really getting this forward movement. This is where you also may be setting a boundary that allows you to step into a new confidence, where this no longer chains you or holds you back. You may even recognize that the love that you deserve must include mutual respect and emotional depth at a soul level. This is where you're able to truly value and hold your value, what you invest your time and energy towards, right? Where you move forward when it comes to your long-term goals, the vision that you hold. And you truly learn to honor it, cherish it, and not let anyone try and think that this is a greater priority than this. And if that resonates, let me know. Share your thoughts. Put a heart in the comments below because I just got goosebumps there. This is where you're truly looking at where you need to put this burden down, change the situation, get out of dissatisfaction, feeling trapped, feeling restrained, feeling like you're constantly having to go against the flow. And you walk towards your crown of success. And it's got lightning bolt energy, right? This is where you're truly being blessed and exalted, just like Jupiter is right now. Because Pluto, sitting in your 6th house of daily life like this is transformation that may also come through ordinary moments, like a meaningful look across the room with aligning with your true soul tribe, or someone showing up when you needed them the most, or when you needed them at a point where you felt this energy. Right? Sacrifice, surrender. I should say it's like, this is where it's like you're sacrificing what you no longer need to hold, and you're surrendering to the help that's truly meant to come in and align with you, is what I'm really getting the most. So this could even be through a gesture that proves that actions truly speak louder than promises, especially if those promises don't hold weight or merit. This is big energy. It's a new type of love language for Virgos that's coming in, and it helps you experience when and where you can truly count on someone and know that they understand you in the depth of your soul's needs and vulnerabilities, when and where you need it most, and it changes everything because you've got someone lifting half the load that you've been carrying on your own up until this point. And as the moon in Sagittarius in your 4th house also forms a 10th square with Mercury retrograde in dreamy Pisces in the 7th house at the same time, no less. This is where this is really going to differentiate itself from this energy and from this energy. It's going to show you. It's going to create this emotional echo where your thoughts and your feelings are broadcasting on slightly two different frequencies. So your heart is going to be speaking through that Sagittarius energy of like, let's be honest, let's be free, let's say the truth. Remember, your heart also too is Venus is in Aries. So your heart's desires is also holding that energy of like, let's try something transcendent. Let's try something new where we truly fly. But Mercury in Pisces responds in this poetic way. And he's doing so in retrograde. So he's got a bit of uncertainty, a little bit of hesitation, like, okay, I feel you. But what if the truth is a little more complicated than we thought? What if it's got all this? I'm not sure if I'm up for that. And because of this funniness in the frequency, as I would like to put it, it's like when you mix two pigments, like you're mixing red and green on your canvas, right? And you meant to get this like vibrant, brighter, like deeper shade of one or the other, whichever one you're going for. But you mixed them with too much equality. So instead, you got this like brown that kind of reminds you of baby poo a little bit. And when you see it and you step back, you're like, that reminds me of this. That's a new beginning with change. Looking at like change again and how you receive that new beginning with how you cooperate and who you cooperate with, who you choose to walk forward into your future with. In the same way, you might say something that you meant to truly be heartfelt, and instead it maybe comes out slightly sideways. But in the muddy brown, as you add more red, as you add more green, as you add more courage or more heart, it helps you refine, helps you get closer to meeting the words with your heart and letting your heart lead. And it's by asking, did I truly say what I meant to say? Or what I meant to really have come across and convey? Did I fully listen? Did I honor my own truth? Because that's where you're being urged to go. And together, they create this clarity through contemplation, right? Honesty and reflection. And it pushes you to say what truly matters most, even if you don't say it necessarily in the way that you meant to, or it doesn't come out the way you meant it, or the way you felt it, right? And in this energy, it asks you to get wonderfully messy while you find your way through the words. And as you do, you walk into the best monumental shift that will shape your movement with expanded blessings, with auspicious growth. And it's going to be auspicious growth that is truly favoring you through June of this year. So Jupiter stations direct, Tuesday going into Wednesday. And this is worth a happy dance because he's exalted in Cancer after months of reflection, looking back at those old dreams, those old communities and asking you who truly felt like home, right? Well, now you know it's not this. And now you do know how to truly honor, cherish what is, who is. And let me tell you, you're going to feel this energy. So I kind of use this reference a little bit, but just to kind of get into it a little deeper. If you imagine Jupiter as this massive ship, right? And he's been in the harbor, right? He's been slowly pivoting in the harbor too. He's been going from one side to the other, but he hasn't left necessarily. And this has been going on for months, right? His sails have been slack while he has basically been making repairs. He's been fortifying the ship's hull, and he's also been recalibrating the compass that was slightly off. But as of Tuesday night this week, going into Wednesday, the wind finally returns. Your sails are finally all like ready. I'm not a sailor, so I don't know what it means to draw them or put them down. And you know what I mean. Your ship is finally all like full, like the hull is finally repaired. The calibration of your compass is fully in sync. And this is when your ship finally starts to move again. And he's headed towards open water. So remember, Jupiter is in your 11th house of dreams, friendships, community, long-term goals, and more importantly, the future that you hope to build. This is a great time to be a Virgo. I cannot stress that enough because this is going to feel like you're watching a lighthouse finally begin to shine after a long fog. And it's guiding you towards that open water. And not only just towards a vast openness where you have no direction, it's illuminating your path. And Jupiter is saying, it's time. So when Jupiter starts stationing direct like this for us, You may feel a renewed sense of faith in your goals, your social circle, or even a dream that you almost gave up on. You felt frustrated, right? It's caused this energy where you felt unhappy, you felt heartache, you felt depression, you felt like there was traumas, that you were even separating from your dreams. There was sorrow and trauma that was holding you back. But as you can see, rosemary is here. And rosemary is an energy protector. It's also a healer. And this is where right underneath it, by embracing your new beginning with spirituality, with faith, having that positive outlook, that hope for the future, doing the healing that was needed, doing the work, as I like to put it, it's renewed your inspiration. And this is where you're leaving the harbor with new ideas, new information, a romantic, youthful, creative, insightful kind of energy. And this is also where things start coming in with new messages. So now that we're leaving that harbor, now that we're headed out to this renewed sense of goals, social circle, a dream you almost gave up on, but luckily you didn't, you held that vision. This is the moment where the plans that you have felt stalled in this Three of Swords energy truly begin to move for you again. So just expect between Tuesday and Wednesday this week, connections are going to strengthen. Opportunities are not only going to appear, they're going to reappear where you thought you had missed them, where you almost gave up hope. And it's like a garden that seemed dormant within you, right? And now suddenly it's going to start showing small green sprouts after a long winter, just like snowdrops starting to appear. And I love those flowers. If you do too, let me know. But this is truly where you're looking at all the failure, right? That this Three of Swords has caused, that stagnancy, all the disadvantages you've been up against, all the broken promises because you weren't aligned with the right people, the loss, feeling the defeat, feeling like failure is just headed straight towards you, right? This has been a long winter, as I would like to put it. This is where things start truly opening up in a brand new way. So because Jupiter is aligned at 15 degrees, this forward movement is incredibly symbolic in a very spiritual way. So 15 represents the balance between material life and spiritual purpose. And as you can see, I will say it again, we've got a 17 here. New beginnings that are really anchored with faith, driven and guided by faith, anchored in your spiritual true soul purpose. It asks, how can your dreams serve not only you, but the greater good? And for Virgos, this is where you start to see that the talents you share are truly rippling outward into your community. The world needs your insight. The world needs your organization. The world needs your healing presence. And Jupiter is now saying it's time to move forward and it's time to shine in all the ways that you were meant to in this life because you're ready. He's ready. The time is now. And in the magic of this movement, you stop feeling like you're improving the world piece by piece, right? Past by past. And instead you start realizing that you're actually building the future that you once only imagined. And now that your sails are catching the wind once again, March 11th, oh my goodness, let me tell you, it is going to unfold like a day where your inner world and your creative spark take turns holding that steering wheel. And this is where that Page of Cups energy comes in, that new information, those new opportunities, the insight, the youthful vitality when it comes to going after your dreams. So it begins with this like introspective and quiet philosophical kind of energy. And then it ends with a surprising desire to build, create, and express something truly real. So early in the morning on March 11th, the day begins with this half moon that is forming in that Sagittarian energy, right? In your fourth house, no less, of home, family roots, and it's activating your emotional foundations that make you feel safe enough to dream again. And if the sky were a book, this morning would be the chapter titled, Where Do I Truly Belong? Where do I truly want to plant my roots? This is that day, right after Jupiter stations direct. So half moons just in general are moments of decision, It's like they illuminate crossroads, and they also illuminate your horizons as well as your direction. But Sagittarius energy usually wants to run straight towards those new horizons, right? And this is also where, as you're placed, or I should say, as Sagittarius energy is placed in your fourth house like this, as it's trying to rush towards new horizons, it truly does something really interesting. And it's going to feel a little bit like Jupiter retrograde. I know we just came out of it. Don't give up on me yet. We'll get into this. So he wants you, the Sagittarius energy, wants you to truly ask yourself, expand inward instead of outward, but in a different way. So basically, you might find yourself reflecting on family or childhood memories. Reflect on where you belong and what home truly means to you. And remember, Sagittarius is coming in with the wisdom rather than the trauma. So where in the past, as you had done reflection, especially when it comes to your community, where you belong, what you define as your home, where you define as your home, when it comes to your long-term dreams. Before in the past, you could have been blaming the self, right? There could have been nightmares. There could have been insomnia. There could have been this despair, anxiety, feeling really troubled by it. Sagittarius energy gives you the wisdom to truly adapt that. And more importantly, to really look at what drives those definitions for you. So what I mean by that is with this half moon, it helps you discern and decide what emotional foundations truly support your future, your dreams, and the gifts and talents that you're meant to share. And the Sagittarius energy adds this wisdom to look back at your past instead of feeling like this, like it's this Nine of Swords energy, and instead focus on the completion of that, the release of that, through philosophical understanding instead of judgment. This Sagittarius half moon, just to kind of be a little poetic about it, because that's just me. So it's kind of like opening a drawer that you haven't touched in years, right? And as you do, when you open it, you're rediscovering all the meaningful keepsakes that have been safely tucked away inside. More importantly, that you've safely tucked away inside it. Could be a photograph, a letter, an old dream. And suddenly you remember parts of yourself that got buried under responsibility. And if that resonates, let me know. Put a heart in the comments below, because I've been there too. I'm a Virgo going through it just like you. So this half moon brings this gentle realization that your roots are not your chains, just like that Nine of Swords was, right? It is not that. Your roots are your nutrients. That's what feeds your tree of life. Your story has shaped you, but it doesn't limit you. Instead, it's prepared you, right? This is utilizing your leadership to manifest your goals. This is also, too, remaining open in your mind, knowing that you're resilient now, that you're standing in your authority, that you're aligned with the right soul tribe. More importantly, that the world is turning in your favor because Jupiter is moving forward. So your past are your nutrients. It's prepared you for the here and now. And when you nourish your roots like this, your future truly grows stronger as the wheel turns with that sage energy. This is cleansing your space, cleansing your aura, cleansing your energy, and cleansing your future from anything that truly made you felt pent up, held back, restrained in that Nine of Swords energy. It's where you're finally able to stand firm and bend in resiliency because you've been trained for this moment your whole entire life. And where half moons often feel like cosmic checkpoints, this one is going to feel like that with the wisdom behind it. This is the moment where the universe quietly asks you, are you still walking the path that you meant to walk? And as you look back with the wisdom, the beautiful thing about Sagittarius energy is it reminds you home isn't just a place. It's also a sense of emotional freedom. Remember, it makes you feel, it's a place where you feel safe enough to dream. And in this crossroads, this is that point of the week where you truly stake a claim on the direction that allows you to claim that home and that freedom for your future, for your energy, for your aura, for your dreams. And once you decide which direction is meant for you at this crossroads, This is where you're reclaiming your authority, you're reclaiming your power, and you're calling it back right into you. And you're putting it, you're investing it in your future, your legacy, your dreams. And late at night, after the half moon, the moon is going to be doing us a solid favor where it enters Capricorn and it moves into our 5th house. Our 5th house this is beautiful energy after this crossroads. This is making a decision with discernment, with wisdom, and now you're moving to your house of joy, your house of creativity, your house of romance, and this is where the artist within you truly starts to awaken. And we really start heading out of that harbor. We've got momentum in our sails. We've got speed and inertia carrying us, right? Or carrying our movement. So if the morning felt like you were sitting by a window kind of reflecting on life, the evening is going to feel like you're rolling up your sleeves, you're getting messy, and you're building something truly meaningful. And it just so happens that you're building your future. So this is open to all possibilities when it comes to manifestation. And more importantly, standing in your leadership to do exactly just that. And as you can see, we've got the Jamaican dogwood. And what I love about dogwood just in general is the way that if you cut its stem or its stalk, it actually looks like a star. It's this hidden star within the details, right? Within each point that you truly look at the center, if you will. And if that resonates, let me know, share your thoughts, because this is where it's the moment. This is big terms of this week, and it gets better from here, trust me. It's already good, but you know what I mean. This is big. So while Sagittarius inspired the dream, Capricorn now turns that energy and gives form to inspiration. Capricorn asks, okay, how do we make this real now? And this shift is going to feel so incredibly satisfying because Virgos, we ground that sacred into the ordinary, right? So you may feel suddenly motivated to work on a project, a creative project in particular. You may feel suddenly motivated to plan something romantic, pursue a hobby more seriously, or even think about how your passions could turn into something truly lasting. But it takes time and energy, right? It takes action. And that comes on Friday. We'll get into it. Stay tuned. But this is where if you spent the morning sketching out ideas in your notebook, truly brainstorming, looking at what is your 3 of Cups, right? Your time of celebration and joy, your true friendships, allies, community, groups, where it feels like a soul tribe reunion with St. John, like John's wort. This is truly healing energy. And it's emotionally healing in a lot of ways. This is where it's truly, it becomes something beautiful. Because as you've been sketching out these ideas, the evening is where you truly start turning them into a reality with a plan. And it's a pragmatic plan. It is 10 toes down, sleeves rolled up. You're putting your hands in the soil kind of plan. This is a plan where you use your past to nourish you. And you use your creativity to start building a future that's truly priceless. You can't put money on it because it's where your true joy lies. It's where your true inspiration lies. And Thursday is going to feel like you are standing in your artist studio with that plan in hand, and you've got so much energy flowing through you that your logic, your emotion, your passion, and a little bit of mystery as this wheel is turning, as you don't know what's necessarily ahead yet, wants to all dive in at once. All of these different perspectives, they try to all paint the same canvas at once to bring it to life because you've got so much vitality within you, so much energy that you want to put into the material world, all those dreams. But I do just want to prepare you when you start, the colors don't necessarily blend easily together because there's so many perspectives that are being introduced at once. Don't worry though. By the end of the day, on March 12th, the picture that emerges is going to be far richer than what you planned out and brainstormed the night before. And it's time to trust the process. Because remember, at this point, when things are just starting to take form, when they're turning, dreams are turning into matter, into material, no matter what project you start building, as the wheel starts at the top and starts spinning, things still need to take shape, right? It always looks abstract. Like the canvas looks like it looks like there's a bunch of colors, or abstract colors, right? There's a bunch of lumber that's stacked inside here because you haven't built it quite yet. It hasn't had time to take shape. And the most important part at this stage is the vision of the end result that lives inside you, inside your head, inside your intuition, and inside your heart. And this is where you've got all the resources here. You've got all the cooperation, the co-manifestation in a new beginning, and the universe is working in your favor. But it's important to see where that flight, where that reward truly brings you to completion as you leverage and trust the process. This is divine timing in what you're building, right? So just know it's not going to be like this magic wand. Capricorn energy takes time. It takes that time to marinate, to really simmer. So Capricorn, like the Capricorn moon here, is staging this play for you about how seriously you take the things that bring you happiness. And as he squares Neptune, Saturn, and Venus, all in Aries, in your 8th house, all of them are interacting together under that Aries Stellium. And remember, that Aries Stellium, Aries is the first sign in the zodiac. He is the point of action and initiation. This is a beginning, initial stage kind of energy. And it just so happens it's in your 8th house. That is shared, like how you merge at a soul level, how you merge your resources, how you manage your debts, how you manage your assets in a lot of ways as well. How you co-collaborate, how you transform, how you turn traumas into your true knowledge, your true wisdom. And remember, if we got everything right the first time, we would not learn, because light shines brightest in the dark. And if that resonates, let me know. Put a heart in the comments below, because you're going to feel this energy. With all three of these guys, Neptune, Saturn, and Venus truly playing off of each other's energy, Neptune is going to bring that mystical dream, right? The vision. Saturn's going to bring the discipline, the fortitude. And remember, Saturn also rules Capricorn energy, so no pressure. And Venus brings the passion to what you're painting, what you're shaping, what you're building. And it's going to feel like you're balancing multiple worlds at once. Because remember, they all want to come and paint together. They want to grab, like they each want to have a paintbrush in hand. Rather than one at a time. They're not taking turns. They're working together. And with these three playing off of each other like this, if you imagine that you're like building this beautiful sandcastle where there's a powerful ocean tide rolling in your 8th house, and in Aries energy no less, this is going to feel like each emotional wave of the transformation challenging you to trust the process, right? Like the rising phoenix. Each wave is going to reveal something different underneath the sand as each wave gets closer and closer as the tide rolls in to your foundation. So you may find yourself questioning whether you're getting too much in a relationship with one wave, as an example. You may find yourself feeling vulnerable about love, money, trust even, intimacy. And with that next wave, you may even find yourself wondering if someone sees the deeper parts of you in that third wave. Whatever the next wave brings, with this powerful square, with this moon squaring this Aries stellium like this, whatever surges up to create clarity, to teach you emotional courage, it's here to truly help you see which responsibilities truly matter most and which expectations were never meant to be yours to carry. And if that resonates, let me know. Because at the same time, this is big. So, sorry, I'm hesitating just because. The Capricorn moon will also happen to be forming a supportive sextile, a cooperation, a stabilizing ally with Mars in Pisces in your 7th house. And remember, Mars in Pisces is your compassionate warrior fighting. But he's not fighting with swords. He's fighting with empathy. He's fighting with emotional courage. We've got a stable moon, a stable emotion kind of situation, building a structure that lasts, focused on your joy, your bliss. Mars is coming in with sincere allies. With this sextile, let me tell you, if the tension between the moon and the Aries stellium feels like these emotional waves in the depths of your vault, your 8th house, are crashing in for you, Mars in Pisces becomes the skilled sailor, like sailor that is helping you steer the boat through all the waves, all the tides. He's helping you crest that tide and get over those hurdles like with ease, with cooperative energy. Everything that you feel that's like feeling like, oh no, look at that big wave, that is humongous. He's like, don't worry, we got this. It is that kind of energy. So what I mean by that is he is going to be giving you this courage of the heart, right? It creates this bridge basically between action and leading with your heart. So especially when it comes to the Two of Cups energy, this is compassion. This is Venus blessing you. This is leading with the heart. Truly tearing those walls down when it comes to your co-manifestation, your co-creation, your co-collaboration with who you align with, and truly letting your soul tribe be there for you. Letting Mars become your stabilizing ally. So a conversation that once felt difficult may suddenly feel truly easier, where compassion becomes the bridge, empathy becomes the language. You may feel motivated to address a relationship issue constructively because you have the courage to express how you truly feel, how it's made you feel, how that void in between you guys has made you feel, and how to bridge that gap. You may even find that a partner or an ally comes in at the very moment you need them most to help you take action. And what I mean by a moment that you need them the most is it's at a point where you're like at this point of overthinking, right? This wave's coming at you, and you may feel frozen against that wall of like, oh my goodness, how do I hold two pieces together while I try and fuddle with the screws to get the screws in? Or as I'm cresting that wave, it's like, oh my goodness, can I get over this? Which way to approach it? I don't know. And so you hesitate for that moment, and that hesitation actually causes you to go sideways. And I don't know what that's called, but that's when your boat flips, right? Mars is here, and it's like as soon as you start to tip this way, he's like, no. And it's that kind of energy. Mars is here to gently nudge you, to send that message, start the conversation, create the thing that you've been hesitating to begin, so that momentum replaces your worry and your analysis paralysis. And as the moon also tends to form a sextile with Mercury retrograde in dreamy Pisces later in the evening on Thursday, something beautiful is truly beginning to happen here. And this is where the affinity that you have for cooperation, your compatibility, your friendships, your romance for what you love, what you do, your bliss, your harmony, mutual attraction when it comes to sincere allies. This sextile is truly profound, because this is where, even though Mercury is in retrograde, asking you to truly be in a point of reflection, when he forms a sextile with the moon, with stabilizing energy with Mars here in the moon in Capricorn in your 5th house of joy, you find your voice again. And it's going to feel like finding your voice after a very long, thoughtful pause. So this is basically where the structure that started as a stack of lumber, or the painting that started off as a rainbow that blew up on your canvas, starts to truly take structural form. And it truly starts to get organized in a beautiful way. And if the emotions felt tangled, Thursday night is going to bring the chance to untie all the knots that kind of became present when it's like you're ready to go on that fool's journey, and then this stellium kind of came in and it brought everything to the surface, and now you're looking at things and you're kind of feeling a little wishy-washy when it comes to building your structure with that Capricorn energy, where you're putting your time and energy towards your passions, your drive, maybe even your willpower got a little rocked here as well, right? Because it's like you're teetering on where you feel socially awkward, maybe feel inexperienced, maybe feel like you're a little out of alignment because you've been isolated. This is where you're truly seeing what you give voice to is being recognized. Your meaningful work, because it's what you were born to do in the first place. It's your talents, it's your gifts, are really preceding you. And this is where, when you've gotten yourself out there to shine, there's an applause coming in, because you're giving voice to it, right? You're opening those walls up to collaborate, to teamwork things out. And remember, teamwork makes the dream work when you're working with the right allies, when you're working with synthesis, with dynamic balance, with synergy, with expression in your honesty and your vulnerability, and leading with your confidence. And we've got Mars leading the way. So this is where whatever comes in, where you're untying all these knots, this is the moment, Thursday night, where conversations may suddenly become more honest, more vulnerable, and more understanding, more led with compassion, because you're relating to each other in a way that truly reaches the depths at a soul level kind of connection with the right partners, the true soul tribe alignment that's meant for you. Insights may also arrive like quiet whispers. We have this Aries Stellium here, so I cannot stress that enough. And if you imagine like two people trying to assemble a puzzle earlier in the day, or even that painting where there's like 4 hands on the canvas, there's 4 paintbrushes going mad here with 4 different colors. This is that moment where it's like you guys are building this puzzle together, and it's a 3D puzzle no less, right? It looks like a sandcastle. You were doing it without seeing the full picture during the day, and by the evening, when the tides are finally rolling in, things start to calm down, the waves start to really even out. Someone finally turns on the lamp, and the missing pieces that were like so readily like there and in your face but not truly seen, kind of discombobulated during the day, now those missing pieces become obvious. And this is where, as you've started to build something truly meaningful, lasting, memorable, the curve, the form, the figure truly start to take shape. That like canvas, that painting truly like has the background, it has the foundation, and now you're starting to come in with the layers, right? This is where it's like you've got the new skills taking shape, you've got new opportunities, you've got a new purpose, a new drive, a new direction in your employment, in your career, because you're leveraging the gifts you are born with that truly light you up inside. And this is where, because you're aligned, the universe has no other option but to respond in kind, right? That's with enthusiasm, with inspiration, with good news about money, career, education, home, where you invest your time and energy into, your new beginning that creates stability. And it's because it also creates resiliency through adaptation, through perseverance, through investment of your time and your energy. And it's your true victory. This is your achievement. This is advancement. This is where things pick up, where you're making significant progress. This is good news, double confirmation here. This is validation from the inside out, because you're standing in your confidence, and 2, you're leading with confidence and respect. This is your divine humanity shining, taking shape, your dreams being anchored into reality. And as we close out the week, we are blessed with another Friday the 13th here. I have not seen so many Friday the 13ths like come up together like this. Just saying, I felt like only a couple weeks ago that we had February's, right? Now we've got one again in March. This Friday the 13th is one to pay attention to, because there is a doorway of destiny that is quietly tapping you on the shoulder. And it's bringing one of the most significant alignments of the week into your view. And if the week felt like this emotional reflection, then there was recalibration as the wind starts to truly like fill your sails. As the ship starts to move, it pulls up anchor, it's leaving the harbor. Friday will feel like the first scene where the hero finally leaves the village and begins the real journey. And your ship truly is now out of the harbor. It's in open water. And I say that because under the blessing of the divine feminine energy of Friday the 13th, Mars, which again is our compassionate, empathic leader in Pisces, he's going to conjunct with the North Node of destiny, your soul growth, in your 7th house of partnerships. And this conjunction is truly a karmic activation of true action and harmony, symmetry, balance, integration, wisdom, reciprocity, your confidence. You've got everything within you now. This is where the protagonist of your story, that's you by the way, truly starts walking forward in a way where you haven't felt like you've received or experienced forward movement now in what feels like months. So If you just got goosebumps, if your ear started ringing just like mine did right now, get ready, because this is how you're going to feel. Your chest is maybe going to be a little bit puffy on Friday, just to forewarn you. But this is also where Pluto is transforming things. And this is where you really start to see that transformation take root in your foundation, where you're truly aligned from head to toe with your crown lit up here in a new beginning. This is significant points of infinite potential for you. So this conjunction, I know I've kind of built it up already, but it is the puffy chestedness of your courage. You may feel with this conjunction, how to put it? So together, when they meet like this, something remarkable truly happens as they form a cosmic message. And basically the message in very simple terms is like the North Node represents your soul's evolutionary path. It's your cosmic compass pointing you toward growth, enlightenment, and expansion. Mars is your action and your courage. And now Mars is required, leading with empathic strength, your intuition, your will, all being aligned at once. And they're being required to follow that cosmic compass, follow that direction. And they're telling you it's time to move toward your destiny. The compass doesn't just point north anymore. It starts walking. And Jupiter is moving your dreams and your future right alongside with you. He's got his hand on your shoulder. He's blessing you, filling you with all this optimism. He's building a legacy with you. He's building wealth with you. He's building humanitarian wealth as well. And it has a lot to do with what you were always meant to do in the first place, what your soul's been waiting for you to ascend to. This is a highest timeline kind of alignment. And it's starting out on a new adventure that is really like tapping you into unlimited potential, all your creativity, putting you on a journey of a new beginning with infinite potential, right? With that 8, that reduced, like 1 and 8 reduced to a 9, which is basically a beginning and a completion wrapped up all in one. But with 8, again, this is your infinite potential. This is your collective creation consciousness. This is big energy on Friday. This is one to mark your calendars for. Maybe take a day off and focus on your joy, focus on your bliss, your long-held dream. No pressure. I'm not telling you to take off work. But either way, this is where, as the compass starts just simply walking forward, without any hesitation, without anything holding it back, there's something here in this alignment, because it's happening in the realm of your partnerships and soul agreements. Your growth deeply ties now to how you show up with others, not necessarily for others, with others, with partners, with collaborators, with close allies, and even meaningful new encounters. So this is the time to truly pay attention to the synchronicities and the signs, because under this conjunction, I'm just going to forewarn you, someone may be entering your life with a powerful meaning for your future. A conversation may shift the direction of a relationship. You may be instilled with the courage to pursue someone or something that feels deeply meaningful and aligned to your future. And because of this pull, you don't necessarily know. You can't see it, right? But you're dancing underneath it. And again, we've got that Cancerian energy with the crab here, with the lobster here. I guess it's kind of like a crab, but either way, it's totally different. Sea creature. They're the same in that way. But this is where what I mean by this is that you're embracing the unforeseen, right? Through voluntary change, letting your subconscious, your spirituality, and your intuition drive the way. And I know I've said this before, but typically the biggest catalyst that drives us forward in our ascension is our inner shadow, right? What we felt is our greatest hurdle. Once we crest that mountain, that's when we see our greatest victories, our greatest movement, our greatest achievements. And it's because it's our soul contract alignments, right? And what I mean by that is with other people, yes, but what you signed up for to truly ascend to in this life. So this moment is big for us. This is where, as you decide to take action toward a partner or a collaboration that opens the door that you felt was once like rusted shut, you may most profoundly realize that certain connections are guiding you toward your highest path And now is the time to truly follow this intuition. Because the reason why I say that is because this conjunction also happens to occur at 8 degrees. And yes, that came up in the cards. If you got goosebumps, I did too. Let me know. Put a heart in the comments below. Because at 8 degrees, this conjunction between the North Node and Mars, your drive, your passion, your will, your highest timeline, it holds the energy of tapping into your infinite potential. It holds the energy of tapping into your karmic balance and into your spiritual power. So this energy is going to remind you that the relationships you form are truly not random. It's where you see your value that manifests in the relationships that are aligning towards you. They are part of your soul's long journey through time, through this lifetime, through your lessons. And the quiet whisper that's been guiding you knows the way better than the logic of your ego. Now is the time to listen and to start following your compass. And as this conjunction aligns, there will be a bit of a tug of war. Of course, things don't come easy, right? It's going to require the temperance. It's going to require aligning with your truth. And why I say that is because there is going to be this tug of war between two worlds trying to call you to both sides of a matter when it comes to your emotions and your future. So the moon in Capricorn in your 5th house of bliss, joy, right? Creativity. Just so happens on Friday to oppose Jupiter. Now moving forward, he's put all the wind in your sails. He's exalted in Cancer in your 11th house of friendships and future dreams. And if you imagine yourself standing on a bridge between two worlds, where one side, you've got your personal passions, your romance, your creativity. On the other, you've got your community. You've got your friendships. You've got where you want to go, your long-term vision for the life that you want to create. And they're all waving you forward. They're like, come on, let's go. Both sides are going to actually be doing that, right? They're both asking you to walk toward them. And the thing is, both matter. So it's really not a choice of one or the other. It's how to make both sides meet together so that the bridge is no longer needed at all. And I know that sounds tricky, but that's where time truly folds. And remember, the veil is thin this week. Past and future are truly mixing together. And this is where the timeline collapses. So this is a moment, or it may create a moment, I should say, where your personal joy and your community responsibilities feel like they're a bit out of balance. I'm not going to lie. Change brings a little bit of that uncomfortability as you switch timelines. But this opposition is truly here to help you gain awareness of what makes you feel alive. And it's helping you see that both sides of the horizon are truly, holistically, the whole entire sky. The trick is connecting one side to the other, and by doing so under this opposition, you may realize that nurturing your own happiness truly is what actually strengthens your ability to support others. And that's where the Knight of Pentacles meets the Temperance, right? This is all your responsibilities, but also being methodical, being hardworking, being resourceful, being kind, being trustworthy, taking action towards true stability, leading with your heart, and leading with your value and how you value others, how you value your truth, how you align, how you attune, how you come into harmony, how you achieve internal balance through healing, through creativity, through art, and truly develop and build a new beginning that focuses on your foundations. And that comes from really embracing change, unexpected energies, but also too creating a successional renewable energy in your foundation that keeps propelling itself forward so that you do it once and then it keeps going, right? This is where basically to help you find a note of grace, I guess is what I would put it as, there is going to be help coming in. And I hope I'm making sense. If I am, let me know. If I'm not, I'm sorry in advance. But there is a note of grace, I will say. As you're looking at this bridge and you're like, oh my goodness, the sky is so big. How does this happen? How does the timeline collapse? How do I really ascend to that new timeline? And there is a grace that is going to be singing right along with you that's going to help you do exactly that. And it starts with your vibration. The sun, your vitality, your energy source in Pisces, part of that Pisces stellium, right? is also going to happen to sextile with the moon. And remember, like the moon, your emotions are really at this state of bliss. Your identity is now entangled with it. And like I say, this is what's going to help you look at things. Associate your bliss, your joy with your identity, and connect it to the world around you in a seamless way, in a harmonious way, cooperative way. So this is basically the cosmic equivalent of a wise friend placing that steady hand on your shoulder and saying, don't worry, you've got this. Get out of analysis paralysis, because this alignment helps you truly integrate your emotions, your emotional needs, and your identity, and your direction all at once, especially as the North Node is entangled with it. With this emotional harmony by your side, you'll feel this like quiet sense of alignment between your heart and your purpose. Like the sky is exhaling right along with you, effortlessly finding that connection across the horizon, right along with you. And this is the moment of peace that's going to help you unveil the direction that you're meant to sail toward this week when you're in that open water, where your passions and your commitment truly become the anchor in your direction for each other and to each other. And as you exhale with the sky and walk into the weekend, this is the moment where the path ahead becomes visible. And you know that everything along your journey happened the way that it did, so that everything could come together and align in this here and now, in this very moment. And this is where the light opens up not only above you, but it opens up in your heart as your heart reaches towards it and fights for your dreams, fights for your bliss. This is where you're overcoming everything that you needed to release that's caused a mental hardship, that needed to be healed necessarily, right? Because remember, light doesn't shine, or I shouldn't put it that way. Light shines brightest in the dark. That's what this is. This is overcoming those aspects where now your light is there, inside and out, shining above you, shining within you. And within this aspect, this is where changes come rushing towards you. Because again, you're taking risks, but you're taking risks bravely. You're also leaning in towards new opportunities that are being opened with Jupiter moving forward again. And within this aspect, this fearlessness that's led with the leadership that only empathy and compassion is driving, your North Node is compass calibration. What I'm trying to say, thank you, Mercury retrograde. With your compass truly aligned and recalibrated now, it's going to feel like there's this profound irony that's hitting you on Friday. And it's going to basically be at this moment where you realize that life may never ever move in straight lines, right? Even with a sailboat, as you're looking at the wind, as you're really leading or changing your sails to lead with the line of the wind. I'm not a sailor, so I don't know the terms. Sorry in advance. This is where you truly come to this epiphany that's absolutely beautiful, where you realize that like some journeys require reflection, while some dreams require patience. Some relationships require courage. But this is the week, where there's a deeper truth being revealed. The river in your life, even though it felt like it, just saying, we were in an eddy for a long time with Jupiter. The river never really ever stopped moving. And it's that moment that you realize it, right? So even through all the hardships, as you look back, see the little nuggets and kernels of gold that were whispers of gold and lessons of wisdom that were brought along the way, that helped repair you, that helped make you stronger, that helped you grow, that refined your direction and your connections. Each and every one of them helped drive you and prepare you for this point, for this moment where you start really realizing the river, as it eddied, it was collecting that wisdom for a reason, right? It never actually truly stopped moving, even when it was circling around. Through those moments of reflection, even during the moments of uncertainty and emotional ebbs, when the flow lost its mojo, right? It lost its motion. It was simply just gathering the wisdom that you needed. And now that you have, now that Jupiter's moving forward, Now that your destiny is activating with action under the Mars and North Node conjunction, the current is beginning to pick up speed. This is where it's like you're coming out of that eddy, like your eddy, or that eddy. I cannot talk. Oh my God. You're coming out of the eddy. There we go. And it's time to truly trust the direction, to stand in your nobility, in that wisdom, celebrate your accomplishments with humility, right? Because they didn't come easy. And truly learn to play again, to sing your song, to know that you've regenerated. And now is the time to stand in your power, embrace the infinite possibilities within you, transform, because you're ready to come out of the cocoon, and embrace your freedom because you're truly protected and you've got the intelligence behind you as well underneath. This is the time to truly trust the direction, trust your intuition, trust the quiet voice inside you that always knows when the time has come to move forward. It's divine timing, right? And know that your path is just beginning to unfold as you start heading down the river, and your soul knows the way. It's heading you exactly where you need to go. And it's driving you in the year of the fire horse, no less, towards your freedom. So if you like this message, if this resonated with you, by all means, let me know what is coming through this week for you, because this is going to be a big week for Virgos, and it's a great time to be a Virgo. I'm just saying. We've got Jupiter on our side, and I'm so excited for it. Just speaking personally. But if this resonated with you, if you like the way that I read, almost missed one there, by all means know you guys are what help elevate these messages to get to the collective every which way you support it. Whether you like, share, subscribe, comment, all your hypes, each and every bit of it counts. So by all means, just know that I am so grateful for each and every one of you for being here, for contributing in every which way that you do, that you are here, for sending your love, and know that I am sending all my love and light right back. But before we go, and before I get sidetracked, what we pulled music and color frequency wise is G sharp, G, B, C, E, A sharp, and F sharp. We've got 2 E's here. Love it. And then color frequency wise, we have yellow, we've got green, we've got purple, we've got magenta, we've got red, teal, and indigo. And as I said before, I am wishing you guys a beautiful week. Happy Friday the 13th. Happy, I can't talk. Oh my gosh. Happy Jupiter finally stationing direct, and happy North Node Mars conjunction. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next reading. I will see you soon. Take care, love and light, and have a wonderful week.